The whole world is an illusion. Everything that we perceive and everything that we live for and everything we die for, it's all illusion. Take an example of a chair that's a red color. We think the chair is red, and we all will agree the chair is red. And yet, scientifically, it's not true. All it does have that whatever sunlight falls on it, it has a capacity to absorb all the colors and not able to absorb the red color. So the red color gets reflected, comes into our eyes, and we have special cells, cones and rods. That's the name of the cells. They perceive, and we also have a corresponding capacity to perceive that color. But even at the cones and rods level, it's a variable stimulation of one cell over the other that generates an impression of a red color. Now we all talk the same language. We all say it's a red color only because our instruments, physical instruments, are the same. If you go to an animal who does not have that instrument, he will look at the world as black and white. Or there may be some other animals, they have a different visions capacity. Then they can see the world totally different than we do. For example, some of the bees have been known to have ultraviolet vision. If they fly in the dark, through their ultraviolet vision, they can see flowers bright and shining that we cannot see because we don't have ultraviolet vision. So every color that is there, it's nothing but play on the sunlight. When the sunlight disappears, the chair does not remain red anymore. If you put the chair in the dark, what color it remains, it's a mystery. Because by the time you try to turn the light on and look at the chair, the illusion has started already. So, all the objects of the world have variable capacity to absorb and refract different components of the light, with the light consisting of 7 colors. So, when the light shuts off, whatever stays behind, there is still a difference in the objects. There may be a red color chair, blue color chair, green color chair, but in the dark, they all will be without color. And yet they will exist. But the one difference they will have will be the potentialities. Their potentialities will be different from each chair to another chair. But that's hidden. And that potentiality comes into action when the sunlight falls on it. Now look at the world, what we have done. Based on the colors, we have killed people. Based on the color, we have chosen our life partners. Based on the color, we have run after green color of the money. Based on the colors of the flags, has generated emotions within us that I'm Indian, I'm American. Look at the play of the colors, and yet the colors don't exist. All the emotions which are generated within us, Krodh, Moh, Maya, all these are byproducts of this big illusion that God has created for us. If you remember the two-slit experiment by Young, as soon as we look at the electrons, they turn into particles. Our presence, the electromagnetic field of radiation coming out of our own body, changes the outcome of the experiment. As soon as we look at the electrons, they turn into particles, and we are not watching it, they remain waves. And this experiment was conducted in almost 1800. For a long time this experiment has been around, and it is the biggest mystery and also a proof that the world we see is nothing but an illusion. There is no scientific way of seeing the electrons in their original state, because when we try to see it, they change. The same way, whole life that we live with this illusion. Meditation is the only way to come out of this illusion. Meditation is the only experiment that you can conduct without using any instruments. Meaning our senses, 5 senses, are nothing but instruments created by the nature to match with all these objects who have variable potential to refract different lights. And this illusion does not stop at only the light. The same thing about the sound, same thing about the speech, same thing about the touch. All these things are there only because of the subject-object and the observation capacity that is given to us. If a chair is a chair is an object, we are the subject, because we have that set of instruments to perceive the different colors. So otherwise that red chair would have no meaning. For example, the deers, they can have only black and white vision. They don't have color vision. That color will have no value. Deer will not fight for red color. If an American flag is shown to the deer, it would have no value. It will not ever be able to say that I am an American or Indian. So these are the beautiful advantages given to the human being to perceive the world in its glorious way. And this is not the end of it either. A lot of animals are superior to us. For example, an eagle flying a mile high in the sky and able to see a tiny movement of a snake on the ground. We don't have that. A lot of animals have been reported to communicate in the field of sound waves that we cannot even perceive. Our capacity is limited. Their capacity is even higher. For example, animals like elephants have been seen to communicate in a much higher field over several hundred miles. They can talk to each other. So world is beautiful. All this that we see is nothing but an illusion. And there are no scientific instruments to go behind the material nature of this world. So we have to go into the field of spirituality, not to see our soul, but experience it. So where the science stops, because it has to, it cannot go anymore, the spirituality starts. Spirituality brings you at the existential level with everything else. In the darkness of night, when there is total stillness, you perceive the whole world. At existential level, there is no difference. Every animal is the same. Every birds are the same. All the human beings are the same. You just coexist with different potentialities, of course. But potentialities are nothing but 7 colors coming out of a sunlight, which was always white before the variable expressions came out. So homogeneous nature of the whole universe is within us. Let's stay at the samadhi level and realize the stupidity of mankind over millions of years. And that stupidity does not seem to end. At existential level, we are all the same. There is no reason to hate. There is no reason to love excessively based on the colors, creed, sex, based on different colors of the animals. We have almost made tigers, lions extinct. We have hunted out beautiful birds just because they look beautiful. All these behaviors do not seem necessary, and it's not only not necessary, it is self-destructive. We have destroyed this beautiful world that this consciousness, the God, always wanted us to have. Instead of enjoying this beautiful world, we have started ownership. I own this and I own that. I own a beautiful wife. I own a beautiful girlfriend. I own a handsome man. I own X millions of dollars. I own this car. This ownership concept was never there. God only wanted us to come and enjoy this Garden of Eden, which is always present. But stupidity of a man has destroyed it beyond imagination. And in that process, we are destroying ourselves with Kam, Krodh, Mad, Moh, Maya. All these are byproducts of our stupidities. So a simple journey into the soul will make us more wise and more in touch with reality, at which level our potentialities remain as potentials. They are hidden. Soul has infinite potentialities. And when we realize this, and when we recognize this, we bow down to this almighty consciousness. And the only object remains in life is to enjoy this beautiful spectacle of life that has unfolded in front of us. Enjoy every single breath. Enjoy beautiful colors of the spring. Enjoy the beautiful colors of the flowers. Enjoy the cool breeze. Enjoy the sunrise. Enjoy the sunsets. enjoy the company of each other, because this spectacle could end one of these days. There is no me, there is no mine, there is not you, there is no yours. Come out of all these things and keep your mind rested and the soul totally peaceful, and enjoy the world. Have a good day.